ePortfolio, lesson 1. We're going to quickly look at how to set up your ePortfolio. Now, what's the purpose of a teaching portfolio? Basically, it's a place where you're going to collect all your information. It's a place where you're going to collect your ATSL standards. You're going to use it to demonstrate your teaching skills through documentation. This could also be your knowledge and understanding of teaching skills. It's also a place where you can evaluate stuff. You can use it to evaluate by peers, but I would not worry about that right now. But also it's to work out where you're going to go with your teaching goals, and most importantly, to try and get a job. Examples of ePortfolio sites. Google Sites is the one that I'm going to demonstrate. However, Weebly is another fantastic one. It gives you more learning space. Mahara, WebNotes, SnapPages, and PebblePad are all just other examples of websites, which is all they are. WordPress and EduBlogs are more blogging tools, which are easier to use, although they're sometimes harder to navigate. You can use Word, PowerPoint, or Inspiration. I would not suggest that, because if you're using a PowerPoint, it's very hard to send that ePortfolio to anyone. If you're using Inspiration or some kind of tool like that, again, it's good for mind mapping, but not really good for ePortfolios, and same with Word. However, in all three of those, you can export as a website. So therefore, you can turn it back into an ePortfolio. However, you then have to worry about hosting it. So it becomes hard. I'm not signed in. I'm going to show you what to do. Search Google Sites and click on it. What will happen is it will say you need to sign in. So sign in with your Gmail account. If you're on Weebly, you will need to do the same thing by setting up a Weebly account. And I sign into my Google Sites. And what I want to do is create a new site. So I go create, and I've already set up a template. So I go browse gallery, and I go student teacher ePortfolio. Here we can see the very first one that comes up. It will look green. It says ePortfolio Australian Student Teachers. This is the one that we've created. It's not great, I'll tell you that. It is basic. You will need to soup it up and make it look interesting. You need to put in here your name, because this is what your site's going to be called. So it's going to be http sites.google.com sites Jared Johnson. So that means that that's what the website is going to be called. Jared Johnson may already be taken. It is, because I've already taken it. So therefore, I will need to come up with a new thing. I might be Jared Johnson 2014. Try it. Don't make it too long. Maybe J Johnson. So play around until you get the right one. Come down here. Now select the theme. This is where you choose what your layout's going to look like. Roughly the color, the motif, the layout. And then you're going to write in what this word is. So that for me looks like canonent. And then you would hit create. Now, if you write this letter wrong, or if your site is not available, it will keep coming back to this page, and each time you have to choose a new site and probably have to type the code in as well. Now, I'm going to hit cancel because I don't want to create a new site. I'm going to go down to this one, ePortfolio. So this is what it will look like. Whatever format you send, it might be green background, black background, whatever, but you will get a copy of this already created for you. The first place is, so across the top I have my different tabs. So in this case I'm on the personal statement side. Down the side I've got tabs. We're going to go through different how to get rid of all that later. The main thing you need to know is up here is the edit button. So if I click on here, it's just like being almost in a PowerPoint or Word document, and I can click in here and write in whatever I want. Here I can write. Okay, at the end I just hit save. Now you can insert pictures, you can insert tables, you can do whatever you like. I've got information here of what I think you should do. So for example, replace this with a picture of yourself. Don't have the little pink guy. Here is a good place to add personal goals, and so on. If I go to standards, and in this time we're going to go to standard 4, because that's the one we're going to be focusing on this week. Standard 4 supports, so I've already got the information. Here's the standard, here's the descriptor, here's the ICT interpretation. You pretty much want to remove this and put in your own. So to do that, all I do is click on it, and I replace this with whatever I've written in LAMS. So I'm going to write paste from LAMS. All right, just so you can see what's going to happen, and you can see wherever I put in there would be pasted in. This one here on the end is where you're going to have a link to evidence. All right, and so you're just going to write in there. Now, if I want, I can customize this list. I click on this one, and I change that to a URL, and I go save. All right, so now when I click on here, see it's a web address, so this might be youtube.com. Right, and the link is YouTube. Save. And it corrects it. So now there's a link here, and if I click that, that will take me to YouTube. It could take you to evidence when here. I will spend some more time working on that in a different video. But for now, once you've pasted into Lambz or written your stuff in Lambz and you save it to a Word document, you're going to bring it into here. Now, while we're on this subject of cutting and pasting, can I suggest that this document, the ICT Elaborations Lambz 2014 document that you've downloaded in the first sequence, use this to write your notes. Right? So here I've got my evidence. I would write all my information here and then copy it into Lambz. Or if you write it in Lambz, copy into here. That way if something goes wrong and Lambz goes down, which unfortunately happened the first time, and I apologize, it's unlikely to happen again. But you can then still have a copy of everything you've written. Also, once you've written anything in here, you can then paste it back into your ePortfolio. ePortfolio is where you're going to share everything. Now, last thing I'm going to show you while we're here is if you look in this ePortfolio, when you download this, you will get the professional learning network of all the ePortfolio stuff. So here's a whole list of videos I've created or I've found about ePortfolios. There's also a link to the ICT YouTube videos. Some of them will be from last year, some will be from this year. As they get created, more will be added, and there's other information here and information from Google Forms. That will sit here. Before you finish creating your ePortfolio, you would delete this and put in your own information. But for now, it's a good go-to. So when you're in your ePortfolio, it's a good go-to place. Okay, so just to quickly recap, Google Sites, log in, browse, student teacher ePortfolio to bring up the one we want. Will look like something like this. You're going to go to standard 4 and add in your version of standard 4.1, the interpretation.